Now, before anybody says anything about anything, before I show you, unless I forgot to edit in which you're looking at it already, what I'm about to show you, know that part of this was already ordered, and then I found out that Newberry Comics was doing a $2 for a booster sale, $2 per booster, and I was there with my dad, and I was going to say, hey, I'm going to grab a few boosters, they're super cheap. And then he's like, I'll get them for you, pal. And I was like, oh, sweet, thanks, Dad. He's like, why don't we get 20? All right, that's awesome, sure, that sounds great. No, why don't we get 40? All right, Dad, yeah, let's get 40 boosters. So, I have 40 boosters from Newberry Comics, the booster box that I pre-ordered prior, and the event box that I ordered with that. So, we're not all opening all of this in one video. I will open the event box and the booster box in this video, and we'll do the boosters in a separate video. So, it feels really, really good to be holding so many boosters. God, it's like a kid on Christmas, and I'm excited for it, obviously. But 2 videos is that's it. And then I think that's all I'm ordering. Like, I'm done buying Magic cards for the Zendikar battle pack. If I want to do more, I will end up buying individual cards. Luckily, I didn't spend a ton of money or anything. I think I spent less technically than I did on Magic Origins, which is surprising for me. There's no question about that. But I'm excited. There's no doubt that I'm pumped. The possibility of getting ourselves a Expedition Land is there, and I'm excited for it. So this is the other event thing that they launched. I'm really excited for it. So it comes out like this. It's not like the event deck. It's something totally different. I think it has boosters in it. I can't remember. So we can actually take a look. Pop it open. It has a card separator. It has a rare Ugin's Insight that is a special marked rare. So Ugin's Insight we actually popped, I think, in one of our boosters last time. And we've got ourselves a D20, because Lord knows I need more of those. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boosters, and then a explanation for Battle for Zendikar. So it's like we got a special rare out of it, I guess. It's not special, but it's got the date printed on it when I'm assuming it was printed or whatever. It says the 26th to the 27th of September. Maybe that's the pre-release. So that's that. Cool. I'm excited to pop those open. I don't know if I'm more excited to organize my cards after, because one of the things I really like to do is actually organize my cards. I don't know why. I'm not an organized person in general, but when it comes to things I like, video games and all that, I like organizing them. So, and yes, I'm still using my plastic knife because I have not checked my P.O. box yet, which somebody said they sent me a proper opener. And this is the usual. We can take a look, pop this open. Do it like this, and it goes in the back like so. Boom. Zendikar boosters. So I'm pumped. So I guess without further ado, let's start cracking some booster packs. Let's see what we get. This is gonna be this is one of those videos where you definitely want to go right to the rare because of how many boosters I'm opening. So we go right past all the commons, which go right here, as always, making sure they go in camera. Okay. And if I've opened them in a previous video, if it's a rare I recognize, I will be skipping it. So this is Guardian of Tazim. We've opened one of these already. You can take a look. I will show off the card still, but I'm not going to go over it. So there you go. An okay-ish blue card from what I remember. Though there are much better control cards out there. Let me move my mouse away from that so I don't accidentally stop recording. So I'm excited to see what we pop. Any planeswalkers are welcome. Obviously any let's see. Any those expedition lands clearly would be great. This is something I don't think I've opened. If I do, I don't remember. Barrage Tyrant. It is a 5/3 for 4 with 1 red, but he's devoid. I can tap 3 mana. One of them has to be red. Sacrifice another colorless creature. Barrage Tyrant deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target creature or player. Actually, I remember opening this. Now that I read it, as a hiccup a bunch. Very good. in, or I could see it being played in a red aggro deck. Red aggro deck, useful for just blasting. With Thopters, maybe? You just ping them with Thopters, but that'd be expensive for just the Thopters. Alright, this is uncommons. We have a hollow, I still say hollow, a foil common, Silent Skimmer. It's a 0/4 that's devoid, flying, and whenever Silent Skimmer attacks, defending player loses 2 life. So even if it doesn't, I mean, it does no damage, but even if it's blocked, it's always going to do 2 damage. Nice foiling on that. One of my favorite things of this particular set is the art. And this is Amaria Shepherd. It's a 4/4 flying angel with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If the land is a plains, you may return the non-land permanent card to the battlefield instead. Yeah, we popped one of these before. A few uses for her. She's a little on the expensive side, but I can definitely see some uses for it. Alright. Next up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're already going to have a huge pile here, which scares me. Oh, cool. So we ended up pulling a non-foil Ugin's Insight, so the same thing that we've pulled already, so now I know I have a bunch of them. So I have at least 3 Ugin's Insights. This might be my 4th one, but it's the same thing I showed you at the beginning, just non-foil. Almost done with the pre-release special boosters. They are not fantastic by any stretch. At least not yet. Maybe they will be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to have ourselves another dual lag land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic land cards. So it's a lag land early on, otherwise it's just a dual land. This is pretty neat. I like lag lands. I like early play lag lands, but I like the lag lands that do something like give me a health or something. But dual lag lands is still, you know, it's a dual land. It counts as one of 2, so it's still good. There's no question about it. Typically, you very rarely, in at least higher played decks, very, very rarely are you running anything other than dual lands of some sort. So, and our last booster was not great. It's Sunken Hollow, another lag land that does the exact same thing as the last one, but it's blue-black instead of blue-white. Useful, though. Cool. So that's the pre-release. Unfortunate and a disappointing pre-release, but now we pop into the 36 other boosters, and then after this, well, we pop more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm very excited to just open up like 100 boosters today. So we got a Ravenous Path. It's a sorcery, a black sorcery for 3. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, so that's really good. Has Awaken 4 for 5, 6, 7 mana. If you cast a spell 4/7 instead of the 3, also put 4 1/1 counters on target land you control and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. So if I have a ton of mana to blow for one reason or another, not only can I just destroy a creature or a planeswalker, but I also get a 4/4 out of it. It's good just for the fact that it's a straight up creature and planeswalker destroyer for 3. This would go really well in a control deck. Just the ability to blow up a planeswalker directly. Usually you have to directly attack them, so I can see that being used pretty well. I like that a lot. And again, it's kind of a bonus that it has an awaken cost. If you are, for some reason, just mana flooded, or you just have you play this late in the game, which you might be, I can see it being very good. Okay. We're getting a lot of lag lands in this particular box so far, or this particular video. This is a Lumbering Falls, enters the battlefield tapped. I can add green or white, or green or blue rather, to it, and I can pay for 2 colorless, 1 green and 1 blue, and it becomes a 3/3 green and blue elemental creature with hexproof until end of turn. It's also still a land. So I can wake it up and make it a hexproof creature for 1 turn. meaning it can't be targeted by spells or abilities. Oops, shit. It's a good card. I like it. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is getting a little out of control as far as the pile is concerned already. So we got Lantern Scout. He's a 3/2 for 3 cost white creature, human scout ally with Rally. Whenever Lantern Scout or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. So lifelink is good. It's going to go pretty well in a white ally deck, clearly. It's pretty decent. Lifelink's always a fun ability. I enjoy using it. Love that feeling of popping open boosters. Boosters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a big creature right here. 7/6, but he's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. He's green, but he's trample and hexproof. That's kind of cool. Okay, what is this? Conduit of Ruin. A 5/5 Eldrazi creature, 6 mana cost. When you cast Conduit of Ruin, you may search your library for a colorless creature card with converted mana cost 7 or greater, reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. The first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. So the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. So this would be good. I mean, you're already paying 6 for him, so he's kind of a late mid-game kind of card. But if you're running an Eldrazi colorless deck and you have, like, you know, the 10 cost Eldrazi creatures in there, pulling him and playing him might not be a bad idea, making the others cost a lot less to play. Really? We're gonna have to start doing this? I don't want to start having to pop the frickin' have trouble popping open the boosters. Okay. It's getting hot in here. Might have to go turn the air on a little bit. Okay, this is a Mythic. I'm excited for it. I don't know what it is. It's a green Mythic. Green Warden of Murasa. A 5/4 for 6. When Green Warden of Murasa enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. When Green Warden of Murasa dies, you may exile it. If you do, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so I can pull one from playing it, one from exiling it when it dies. I can basically bring 2 creatures back out of the graveyard. It's not fantastic, but I could see it being maybe played. I don't know. For a Mythic, it's not great. There are cards that do what it does that are cheaper, or at least do half of what it does, but cheaper. Kind of just does the same thing twice. I'm not a huge fan. Again, maybe I'm wrong and I should be yelled at or something, but it's not something I'm a huge fan of. So we've already pulled this card. This is Serpentine Spike. It's just a kind of a mass damage dealer. The cool thing about it is the art. I really like the art on it. But not going to go over it. No need. This has been fun. Zendikar in general has been a very fun set. I mean, I know there are people out there that complain that it's not the greatest set in the world, but for me, who just got back into Magic with Origins, I'm happy with it. It's fun. All right. So, we've got ourselves a foil Jaddy Offshoot. It's a 0/3 defender landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. So that's a nice green life gainer. And it's a cool foil. Very nice. Put that right there. And we got Blight Herder. When you cast Blight Herder, you may put 2 cards your opponent owns from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, put 3 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature tokens on the battlefield. They have sacrificed this creature to add 1 mana. Okay. So I'm bringing them an enemy's exiled cards into their graveyard. And then I'm getting some tokens out of it. That's weird. That is a very strange card. and I'm not 100% sure. I like it. Okay. Still no expeditions so far. We got this last time. We already have one of these. It's another lag land. Canopy Vista. Green and white one. It's pretty good. We pulled this last video. Fine with it. Means I can just move on to the next pack sooner. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? This is not something I've seen yet. It's a rare Defiant Bloodlord. So he's a 4/5 for 7. Flying, and whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Weird. It's a vampire card, but whenever I gain life, my opponent loses that much life. So black-white, black-green, or black-green-white deck, like, maybe has some value there, but that's weird. I can see some good enchantments working with it or something, where you... I know there's a green enchantment that it's uncommon that you can choose to gain 2 life every turn. That immediately makes it gain a little bit more value, but it also requires this creature not dying from somebody going, yeah, fuck that shit. Alright, so we got Desolation Twin. I think I've seen this card, though I don't think I've pulled it yet. It's a 10 cost 10/10, and when you cast Desolation Twin, put a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token onto the battlefield. So for 10 mana, you get 2 10/10 creatures. It's okay. This is noted, though, when you cast Desolation Twin, not when Desolation Twin enters the battlefield. So if you somehow get Desolation Twin onto the battlefield without paying its mana cost, I don't think you get that token. You have to pay its mana cost. Or not necessarily pay its mana cost, but pay a mana cost for it. If you have to pay 2, if you have to pay 2 less for him, and you're still casting him. So I think it still counts. Interesting. Okay. This is Angelic Captain. So Angelic Captain. A 4/3 for 5, red and white, flying angel creature, angel ally. And whenever Angelic Captain attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other attacking ally. So, ally thing. It's kind of cool. I don't have any ally decks, though the pre-made one that came in the Zendikar battle decks are pretty neat. I can see allies being pretty fun. I don't know, I just don't like playing creature-heavy decks, though I probably should just build one at some point just to have it. Okay. Alright, we have already pulled one of these, so I'm not going to worry about it. We have a foil Boiling Earth sorcery. Boiling Earth does 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. I can awaken 4 so I can pay 7 for it and put 4 +1/+1 counters on a land, etc., etc. Cool. And Veteran War Leader is something we've already pulled, so there you go. Neat card. A lot of allies. With all the allies I'm pulling lately, I feel like maybe I should be using them. Okay. This pile of commons is getting a bit nuts. Another foil, cool. Still not any expeditions, and that's driving me nuts. So, foil's Natural Connection. It's a 3-cost instant green. Search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Not great. But foil's a foil's a foil. And then Cinderglade, another lag land. I believe it's a lag land. Battlefield tapped, yeah. If it enters the battlefield tapped, it's a lag land. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, wait. I think I accidentally put an uncommon in the common pile. There we go. So we've got another foil. Breaker of Armies. He's a 10/8 for 8. All creatures able to block Breaker of Armies do so. Another crazy cool Eldrazi. Beautiful. And then we've got Endless One. He's a 0/0 for X mana cost. Endless One enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. So however much I pay for him, that is what he is. So he could be a 1 cost 1/1, a 2 cost 2/2, etc., etc. Pretty basic card. I am not impressed whatsoever with my draw so far. At all. So hopefully we'll get something that just blows me away. Not that it's been like bad pulls, it's just been kind of like boring pulls, I guess. So we got another Amiria Shepherd. That's the second one. Starting to pull doubles already. Doubles out of this box, not doubles in cards that I've already owned in the process, so. Okay, come on, baby. Maybe I should start blowing on them. Start blowing on the packs, and that'll hook me up with something, some luck. Okay, got an octopus creature token. That's hilarious. 8/8 though. Okay. And we got Shambling Vent. It's another land. And it's a lag land, so it enters tapped, and I can pay it for it to become a creature, similar to what the other ones did before. It's a lot of those types of freaking creature cards, huh? Or rather, those types of lands. At least I'm getting a lot of them. Maybe I should start making a secondary pile of commons here shortly. Okay. Well, we actually got something pretty cool. So first we got Sanctum of Light, Sanctum of Ugin. It's a land, adds 1 colorless mana to my pool. Whenever you cast a colorless spell with converted mana cost 7 or greater, you may sacrifice Sanctum of Ugin. If you do, search your library for a colorless creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. A lot of lands, or a lot of cards rather, based around just getting big fucking fat creatures, which is not surprising seeing a lot of the set is based around big fat creatures. Then we got a foil Conduit of Ruin, which is something we pulled earlier, but it's a rare and a foil, which is nice. Foil rares are always fun. This pack though is coming off like hot garbo. Not a fan of it so far. All right, let's start a second pile. Okay, we got a Mythic Sorcery. That's interesting. It's a blue sorcery. It's called Part the Water Veil. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Part the Water Veil. I can also awaken for 6, pay its awaken cost, which is only going to be 3 extra mana, and put 6 +1/+1 counters on target land you control and becomes a 0/0 with that many counters. It's also still a land. That's pretty good to take 2 turns. It's not that, I mean, it's kind of expensive, but for what it can do, I can create a 6/6 creature as well as take 2 turns. Basically, that's what it would be. It's like I could summon a 6/6 and then take an extra turn. So I just want to burn a turn summoning a 6/6 creature. I guess that's what I would do if I have a ton of mana. I don't know. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad, and I'm glad I have it just for my collection. At this point, you know, if I'm gonna start pulling doubles, I'd rather just start pulling new stuff for my collection at this point. So another Guardian of Tazim, another Guardian of Adel Dazim. Not really excited about it. This box, man. I guess my last fat pack was super good. 9 boosters, and I pulled 2 very good mythics out of it, and now I'm paying the karma price. The magic gods do not want me to have much more. Oh, we got another mythic. All right. It is Dragon Master Outcast, a 1 cost 1/1 red creature. He's a human shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, put a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Okay, so this is good, but he needs to survive a turn. He would need to survive a turn for him to be able to summon, because every turn that would trigger. And I could quickly gain 5/5 red dragon. So a blue-red deck, a blue-red burn deck with some counter spells to keep him safe. Maybe run 4 of them and quickly start burning out your enemy. That could be cool. I could see myself building just a gimmicky deck around him. Have a playset of him and just have fun destroying people with dragons. As long as I have counter spells to stop them from destroying him. Another Lantern Scout. God, this box is bad. This box is not great. Still got a few boosters, though. All I need is 1 expedition land for this box to be worth my time. All I need. Or give me a planeswalker. I know there are planeswalkers in this set. Give me 1 or 2 or 3. Please. I know Ryan pulled 3 and an expedition out of one of his boxes. Another repeat of something we have. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods to land. I can just basically stock up lands. Tap them and add 2 mana to your mana pool, but only spend it to cast colorless spells. Activate this ability only if you control 7 or more lands. So, like, again, in a colorless Eldrazi deck with big fucking creatures, that is exactly what that's for. Useful in its own gimmicky themed deck. Not something I would, again, play, but I can see people playing it. Alright, another card I already have. Brood Butcher. Boom. Get you the vision of it. The reason I don't want to go through cards I've already gone through is it's very time consuming. And since the other 2 videos were me opening just fat packs, only 9 boosters, I think you can go through that video pretty quickly and find what you're looking for. We can go through it. Alright, what do we got? Please be good. Alright, I don't know if I have this. Smothering Abomination. I think I pulled this already. I'm not going to double check. I'm going to go over the card because I'm not 100% positive. It's a 4/3 for 4. He's devoid, but after you have black to cast him. Flying, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, draw a card. So he forces me to draw and mill myself by drawing a... I could just force draw. So I hope I have a lot of ways of spawning some tokens or something. I don't see him being used, basically ever. Not very good at all. IMO. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I will always preface or always follow up by saying I am not very good at estimating land value. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt, especially if you're a veteran Magic player. So we got a sorcery, white sorcery, planar outburst, 5 mana to cost, destroy all non-land creatures, and I can awaken for 4. So, alright, pretty good. Alright. Come on, man. Blow on the boosters. Give me something good. I'm starting to feel a little bit down and out about this box. What do we got? Put this, another repeat. Hot damn, my friends. So we got a foil Bone Splinters. It's a common black sorcery as an additional cost to cast Bone Splinters, sack a creature. It's a destroy target creature. Not bad. Pretty cool. So Barrage Tyrant, by the way, is what we pulled. Another repeat from something we've already pulled today. I think I've got another 3 or 4 after this, maybe 6. I don't know, 100%. Ah! Alright. I have not been doing a good job at pushing. Not doing a good job at pushing the boosters, empty packs into the trash bag. Gotta keep that going because it's starting to fall out everywhere. Okay. Boom. Too many cards. Too many freaking cards. Ghoul Draws Overseer. I think I already have this. Flying 3/4 for 6. Vampire. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, other creatures you control get +1/+0 to end of turn. If that land is a swamp, +2/+0 to end of turn. Pretty sure I have this. Cool. All right. I think I have 6 more to go. Cut right past the Garbo. Though I feel like some of these commons and uncommons are probably more useful than what I've pulled so far. Okay. We have ourselves... Oops, missed one. A Wasteland Strangler. Another card I think I already have. A 3/2 for 3. It's devoid. When he enters the battlefield, he may put a card on an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Yep, I already have one of these. Little weird, some weird mechanics being implemented with pulling something out of exile and into the graveyard. But not a lot of cards, at least not that I'm seeing. Maybe in the commons and uncommons there are there. But not a lot of cards that puts cards in the enemy's graveyard into exile. And that's kind of necessary for any of these like rare abilities, or these rare cards' abilities to be kind of useful. And that's what you want. So we got Ally Encampment. It's a land. I can tap it, add a colorless mana. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast an ally spell. Or tap it and 1 mana, sacrifice it, and return target ally you control to its owner's hand. So if one of my most powerful allies is about to get destroyed for one reason or another, I can have this and if mana open, tap this, sack it, and bring him back to my hand without that ally being killed off. Good to see, actually. I think that could be a really good card. Much like the Eldrazi lands, I do feel like that that land is useful in a lot of situations. All right, what are we pulling here? This is Painful Truths, black sorcery for 3 cost. Converge. You draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast Painful Truths. So the more you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast. So at max, if I'm riding here like a 5-color deck, I can draw 5 cards and lose 5 life. But at most, typically you're looking at 2 to 3. Or 1 if you're just running a solo color. Actually, no. You can at most draw 3. I'm sorry. At most draw 3 because it's only a 3 mana cost spell. So, 3 and 3. Interesting. It's interesting. I don't know if it's very good because there are cards that you can draw without having to worry about the colors of mana that you would use in all things. So, all right, we've already drew one of these in the last video. Hero of Goma Fada. He's a 4/3 white creature. If you want to take a look at what he does without me going over it where I think he'd be good, and you want to take a look at him yourself. All right, down to our last 4 after this one. Come on, man. Hook me up. Please. Okay, so looks like we pulled a Mythic here. Sire of Stagnation. We have one of these already. He's devoid. Whenever a land enters the battlefield in the opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library, and you draw 2 cards. Well, there's a way of exiling. But he's expensive. So, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be that useful. Boom. All right, another repeat. Akum Hellkite. One of the first ones we pulled, I think, in the first video. So there's that. All right, last three. Bottom of the box. Please don't fuck me up. Do not fuck me completely. I can't be too mad because I still have 30 boosters to pop, but... Or 40 boosters to pop, rather. Exert Influence. It's a 5-cost sorcery, blue, with Converge. Gain control of target creature if its power is less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast Exert Influence. So at most, it's a 5. I mean, it's 5 costs. So if I'm running it in this is a trash card, I think. At most, I could pull a 5-power creature. Meh. Meh, I say. But I'm happy to have it in my collection. That's what I'll say about that one. Radiant Flames, a 3-cost red sorcery with Converge. Radiant Flames deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast Radiant Flames. So at most, I'm doing 3 damage to something. That's not good. Again, there are better cards out there that let me do 3 damage directly. All right, last pack. Blow on it for me. Yeah, you got it. Thank you. Please. Something. Planeswalker. Something. One, two, three. And it is something I don't have, I don't think, but not very good. As in not what I want. Could be great. Munda, Ambush Leader. 4-cost legendary creature core ally with haste and rally. Whenever Munda, Ambush Leader, or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you do, reveal any number of ally cards from among them, then put those cards on top of your library in any order and the rest on the bottom. So it's a quick way, I guess that's where the ambush comes from, to get more allies on the top of your library. Well, that's it. That's all for that particular opening. We've got another 40 boosters to open. I'll have that done in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.